Good morning, children. Welcome to the online class. Children, in today's class we are going to learn about freezing. In our previous classes we have discussed the alternative topics. They are melting, boiling. Right now we are discussing about freezing point. Children, only the liquid items, only the liquid states can only have freezing points. Okay, if you take any of the object, but suppose you take the example you have to take an iron bar. By using this iron bar, you can convert this iron bar into liquid phase. Okay, and from that liquid phase to again to solid phase. Understand, children? Again to solid phase means you can change the state or position of the iron bar. Okay, boiling point and melting point. Every metal has both MP and BB, nothing but melting point and boiling point, children. In the same way, coming to the water, water has freezing point. Water has a 0 degrees freezing point, children. 0 degrees freezing point. 0 degrees freezing point. At 0 degrees only it freezes, children. In the previous class we have discussed that water starts melting at 0 degrees Celsius. At 0 degrees Celsius. But here water freezes only at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, how it is possible we see, children. Children, before saying the concept regarding water, in winter season you notice that ghee or coconut oil changes its state, okay, from liquid to solid. Why? Due to the atmospheric conditions, because they have to has the freezing points. They too have the freezing points. Okay, children, in today's class we discuss only about water, that's freezing point. Okay, children, first of all, you need to take a tumbler, children, glass tumbler, okay, a fixed glass tumbler. You want to pour some water into this glass tumbler and make the lid to keep over that tumbler, and it should be very tight, children. It should be very tight. The lid of the tumbler should be very tight in order not to come a little drop to, children. Okay, in order not to get a single drop from that tumbler, you have to fix the lid very tightly. Okay, up to that volume, whatever the volume of that tumbler there, up to that the volume of water should be filled. There should not be any gap in, children. There should not be any gap. Right now, take this entire tumbler and keep in the refrigerator. Okay, refrigerator, and in the deep refrigerator, children. You know, deep. Okay, so keep in it. After some hours, you take it from the refrigerator and check what is the state of that glass tumbler. What is the position of the water inside of the glass tumbler? Children, it converts to ice. It converts to ice. Children, how it is possible, children? How the water gets converted into ice? Children, before keeping that water inside of the refrigerator, water also has certain temperature. Water also has certain temperature. Okay, children? Water also has certain temperature. Simple example, children. Every body has its own temperature. Okay, children, temperature varies from one person to another person and one object to another object, children. In the same way, water has certain temperature. We can assume that water has a 24 degrees Celsius of temperature. 24 degrees Celsius of temperature. So right now, when we kept in the refrigerator this water containing 24 degrees Celsius, it slowly comes down, children. It loses its energy. We can simply to say it loses its energy, like 24, 23, 22, 21, like 19, 15, up to 0 degrees, it reduces. Coming to the 0 degrees Celsius, it starts to freeze. It starts to freeze. Okay, all water comes completely changes into ice. How it is possible? Children, when the water attains 0 degrees Celsius, the intermolecular forces which were there in the water that makes the water to be get freeze like ice. What are intermolecular forces? You know, water is nothing but it consists of molecules. Okay, what is the formula of water? H2O. Means here two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom, when get bonded each other, will get one molecule. There are several molecules in the water, children. So all these molecules, when they decrease their energy, they come closer to each other and they bond, children. One molecule will get bond to the other molecule. Like this, all molecules will get bond to each other. Okay, they form as a strong bond. That bond results in the form of ice. That bond results in the form of ice. Similarly, all these bonds were bonded. If you want to melt, so children, after bonding, again it reaches to certain temperature. You may think it is minus 2 degrees Celsius. And children, we have to bring it again to the melting position, means it has to decrease minus 1 degree Celsius and it has to attain 0. At coming to the 0 degrees Celsius, all the bonds will be break by heating that, by giving the supply of heat to that molecules of ice. All bonds will be broken, children, and you will get water again at 0 degrees Celsius. That is nothing but melting process. Understand? But here, children, when we want to convert the water, means nothing but liquid state to solid state, the temperature, the internal temperature of the water should be decreased up to 0 degrees Celsius. At the 0 degrees Celsius only freezing starts. Okay, children, means all the molecules will come closer to each other and they bonded to each other. That makes form a solid bond. Nothing but ice, children. So the definition for freezing is the change of phase from liquid state to solid state is called freezing. Okay, freezing is defined as the change of phase from liquid state to solid state. Yes, no? From liquid state to solid state, that is nothing but freezing. Okay, freezing point of water. Freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. At 0 degrees Celsius only, water turns to solid phase. All the intermolecular bonds will be bonded to each other and that results in the strong bond formation of ice. Understand, children? Children, one more thing is, if you completely notice that entire water was changed into solid ice. But children, after some time, if you make to keep that entire tumbler up to certain time, the glass breaks, children. The glass breaks. You might have experienced the water which you pour in this water bottle or any other glass jars. If you keep for a long time, they will break, children. They will break. Why? Means already you have kept the water up to this point. There was no little gap also, children. Okay, when water converts into the solid state, children, that freezing concept is going on now. Then water expands, children. Water expands on freezing. That's the reason. Means whatever the molecules of water is there here in this bottle, that will be expanded. That will be expanded to form the ice. In that case, it wants a sufficient gap to expand. But here there is no gap in this bottle because you have filled up to the brim of that bottle. So there was no gap now. that results in the breakage of this bottle. Okay, you will experience it many times. You can also write this point. Water expands on freezing. Water expands on freezing. Understand, children? Before it want to convert into solid state, the water has to decrease its internal temperature. If the water never decreases its temperature, then there will be no result of formation of ice. When the ice forms means it has to decrease its internal energy from 24 to 0 degrees Celsius. At this point only freezing concept starts. At 0 degrees Celsius only the water turns into the solid state, nothing but ice, children. Okay, children, we'll discuss next concept in the next class. Thank you.